Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Sorry, it's just me. I don't have any guest for you, so maybe I should ditch the use of we. But you are welcome to the children and the media. Okay, that's not working well. So I had this random idea, and I don't know if I should execute it on this episode or I should plan properly for it because I didn't plan like I didn't put the idea together well. I wanted to do like an episode or an intro in Igbo language. So I think my name suggests that I am an Igbo woman, and yeah, I had like a whole thing planned. Ndewo, ndinege munti, and yeah. Maybe we'll experiment that in other episodes. But you guys are welcome to the podcast. So exciting. The Sharenting series, this is the third episode in this series, and I'm so grateful for the reviews. Like, absolutely. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should post the reviews on socials because I am truly overjoyed, truly humbled. I have so many adjectives or words to describe my thoughts, but they're not really coming to my head. It means a lot to me that not only do you guys take out time from your busy schedules to listen, but you send reviews. Like, I'm talking paragraphs. I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so grateful. If you have not listened to Sharenting 1 and 2, I'm judging you like mad. I'm judging you, bruh. Now what for you, bruh? Okay, let me be serious. So today's episode is just wrapping things up, basically. You know what is safe to share, because sharenting is not exactly bad. I have also gotten that as a feedback that I've made sharenting seem like such a bad thing, and so I'm giving like a balanced take on today's episode and just healthy boundaries, things you can do, just wrapping up the conversation. Even though I don't believe that the sharenting conversation can fully be covered in like these 3 episodes, but again, it's a podcast. This is season 1, and I'm giving details about the podcast, you guys. Okay, so this is season 1 of the Children and the Media podcast, and each season has 20 episodes. This is episode 6, so we have, and every episode comes out bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks, I guess. So on the 6th episode, and yeah, season 1 ends sometime in January or February. I can't remember now. But yeah, we are like joke like play. We are making progress. So now is a great time to tell your friends, to tell their friends, to this thing I'm saying. It sounds like one advert that DSTV had when I was a child, and I really liked it. It was about washing hands or something. Reduce, reuse, recycle. I don't know if that's the one, but there was another one about so you can tell their friends to do it, and they can tell their friends to do it, and we can save a whole lot of water and make the fishes very happy. Is this thing I'm saying related to the podcast? Or more time they go. Okay. Yes. Hey, you people. After somebody said something, and it's not hurtful, but I just thought about it like in some type of way. And this is me just being like a human being, sharing like a little vulnerability on the podcast before getting into today's conversation. I was showing somebody my podcast, and the person said, "Ha, what are you talking about? That is up to 40 minutes." Wow. People, that's when it occurred to me that I actually talk a lot. So I know that I talk a lot in like real life, but when you say it like that, it kind of hurt my feelings. It made me, I said, wait, oh, am I really talking much? I thought, but please don't get me wrong. Like, I appreciate the fact that I get to, in fact, I have gotten like a comment on you teach so well, and see, it means it, I'll be there. It means a lot to me that you listen to my podcast for that long. I think I teach well. Thank you so much. So, getting into our last episode for now on the Sharenting series, episode 1, we just talked about, what Sharenting means. I'm not going to remind you, go and listen to the previous episodes. Episode 2, we just saw the concept of Sharenting through a child's eyes. And today we're wrapping up, how do you share in a respectful way, in a safe way? How do you establish online boundaries? What frameworks can you? So, yeah, the frameworks, I think I mentioned it in the last episode. I'll probably share it on Instagram and other platforms, like when we release this episode. So, what am I saying? Be somebody do not think that I have a team of 100 people. I mean, they do everything, though. So, before I even proceed, I hope that you've learned like a lot as you have listened so far to the podcast. I hope it has made a lot of sense to you, and you're already, just noticing the little things you can do, little ways you can help, share the education with other parents, other grown people, just, yeah, so we can make everybody happy. I was trying to insert that DSTV ad, or it slap the way I had it in my head. So, first line of business. Again, sorry, I have one video in my head. There's this video of a popular celebrity on Instagram, and he was like, "I'm standing on business. Is that not clocking to you?" And I think one of my family members will be listening to this podcast and laughing because that person and I have overused that video clip. But yeah, to stand on business, our first conversation today is how to share without oversharing. In the spirit of oversharing, since I'm on a podcast, I might as well talk. I believe I used to overshare. And why I would say so, the concept of oversharing is funny. Sometimes you think you are being vulnerable, you're being truthful, you're being authentic, you're being relatable, you're being honest. There are so many words you can slap around it. And you just want people to see you for who you truly are. My dear, let me just tell you. Random people on the internet don't need to see you for who you truly are. And there is also a side to that. I mean, always present your most authentic self to the world and society. But I don't think you should have one or two good friends. You should have family. Like, there must be people that you can be vulnerable with, because if you choose to make social media your online diary, your scrapbook, your slum book, the place where you document all your it may or may not end in tears. And that's why I said again, I'm oversharing by saying this. But sometimes what you think about as vulnerability and what you imagine in your head is going to help somebody doesn't really help. You're just doing too much. We don't need to know that this is where you work and inside this particular office people are heartless. You can rant about stuff about work. You're an adult, everybody does that, but like there are some details. So that's why I'm so intrigued. I don't know if intrigued is the right word, but yeah, that's why I'm interested in going into the safe framework. So sharing isn't always harmful, but you must consider a couple of things before you post, before you share. And there's a framework called the SAFE framework, SAFE. So S says, should this be private or public? S. That's what the S in the framework stands for. Should this be private or public? I watched a video, and I say this with a lot of love in my heart. I always point on the podcast that we don't peddle fear here and nobody is judging. That's why nobody asked me, but I still overshared on my podcast that I used to be an oversharer. So I love children pages. I genuinely I follow a lot of family pages. I mean, kids are cool people, really adorable. They always have wonderful insights on stuff, and just it's a joy to watch them. But there are sometimes that maybe because of the kind of knowledge I have on these things, I see a video or a post by a parent or an uncle, an auntie, somebody, and I cringe because there are some things that should end on the family group chat or WhatsApp, even if bad as bad. Like, you were so pressed to share, it should have ended there. It should have ended on a strict list to like what 10 close friends and family. It should have ended on your close friend story of what 7 people, 8, maybe 20 at most. So it's one of the questions you should ask yourself. I was watching a video on one page and the little girl was throwing a really huge tantrum. Like, the type of tantrum that's, and I think parents will relate to this more, that type where everybody's not looking at you as if you don't know what you are doing as a parent or as an adult that is with a child or a babysitter. Like, everybody just judging you. And the mother made a video about it and a video of where the child calmed down. I think she was trying to make a point, but first of all, that's why I said I say this in love. The point was not really pointing. Instead, it just made people in the comments ask questions like, your child is throwing a tantrum. Should you not maybe try to take her to the car to calm her down? Why is your instinct in that time to bring out your phone and record? And as harsh as that might sound, that's a valid question. And this is why sharing some of these things just brings unnecessary scrutiny, sometimes unnecessary harsh words. I'm not saying that these people are justified because there are truly some people who come to the comments vile. I do not stand for that or appreciate it. But the safe framework demands that you should always ask yourself, these moments I'm posting, should it be private or public? It's fine to take a video of your child training tantrum so that maybe you can show other, when I mean other people, maybe your spouse, your child, auntie, uncle, grandparents, like, oh, this was even what she did the other day, or maybe like report, or, but I don't know that it should be on TikTok. Let me not dwell on that too much. Letter A, are there any identifying details? I mean, we have gone over this like a lot of times. School uniform badges, your child's school, names, birthdays. So the birthdays are not bad. You can celebrate your child. But there's a side to it where people post IVs of birthday parties, locations. Every year we host our birthday party at the XYZ park in Abuja. Every year. So that Ndojo will go wait for you for next year, or like, do you get why that information is sensitive? Or you post things like, oh, my daughter can, or my son, or my nephew can absolutely kill for scooped ice cream, or so that they will go and buy it and go and wait for the child at the school, accost the child or relay the child. Like, do you get? I always like to paint this scenario so you can see how even small identifying details are a big deal. And they will continue to be a big deal because we never really, it's like how we are so touched when people remember things about us. And somebody says, oh, I remember, let me use like a rom-com I really like. Hey, I don't overshare. You guys. Let me be serious. So if you have watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before, Lara Jean and Peter Kavinsky, I think in the part 2, P.S. I Still Love You or something, there's a part where at the end of that part 2, Peter meets Lara Jean and tells her, I remember you don't like to drive in the snow or something, and he comes to pick up. I was like, oh, so romantic. Exactly. So the way we laud people for remembering small identifying details about us, like every year I like to do this for my birthday, I like to this, I like, that's the same way people note identifying details about children online. And we don't know, some people note it for good, some people note it for bad. This is not to scare you or terrify you or make you develop paranoia, excuse me. But yeah, just be careful if you're about to post something. Focus on the positive. Like, it's a no-brainer. And that's why when I see people come to social media and say, social media is curated, you people don't post while you're crying, you only post when you're happy. Duh! If you are looking for tears, you might as well cry in your house. But me, post my own tears for you. I will post my best life, best believe. And I think we should transfer that to kids. Like, And that's why I will never get behind the ship of, oh, everybody is happy on social media until they are not. We already know that real life is tough, my sis, my bro. Like, a lot is happening. And that's why it is only the vacation you see. That's why, should I tell you that for 4 years, I was nearly losing my mind in uni? No, I will only show you graduation pictures and put with the best music they can in the South. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Like, do you get? And I feel we should transfer the same thing when we're posting about kids or for kids. Focus on the positive. Leave the struggle story. And maybe black people. Hey, let me take a deep breath before I say what I want to say. I think there's a side of, I would have said Nigerians, but I have realized that black people around the world do that. There's just this love, this attachments for struggle stories. Like, he was struggling in math so much, but now he's the valedictorian. I know we really love grass to grace, but sometimes just share the grace and go home. Just, you dey feel that line, Abi? Just share the grace and go home. Like, focus on the positive. Focus on, oh, she smells. You can just post like a really cute picture, my happy child, or you don't need to post 2 hours after kneeling down and now post that she's happy and now, my dear. Oh, need dear, rara. Necessary, my dear. I don't really think you need it. And the last letter for the SAFE framework, the letter E, empower their voice. If your child is old enough, you should ask them some questions. Do you think we should post this? I know children are so intelligent. Children are intelligent in the way that when you start to carry them along, like, let me give you an example. Observe a child who likes to take pictures. Maybe from the time they were little, their parents started taking them pictures and they like to be in front of the camera. There are some times that you just dress them up and maybe you want to go out, or even if it's a stay at home, they'll meet you. Auntie, please take me a picture. Let me show my mommy. Let me call this person. Send this picture to auntie this. Send this video to uncle. Like, by themselves, they will. And so when you see that they have displayed that level of, I think maturity is the best word I can use now. It's okay to ask them, should I post on my Instagram for your birthday? Should I this? Should we tell your friends? Should we, like, carry them along, empower their voice? Because by doing so, you're already giving them a form of digital literacy. Like, you're already building like a consciousness in them, because there may now be some things that they'll tell you to share, like, oh no, we should not share things like this about ourselves or even others. Do you get? So yeah, I think that wraps up the SAFE framework. On to setting boundaries. I feel like setting boundaries is for families, for individuals, for grown-ups. Let me use myself as an example. When people are having a child or children, if you have not yet posted the picture of your maternity shoot, I will not post it. Yeah. I think we should let people share some things before we share, or take permission before we share. If you have not posted a picture with your child's face, I will not be doing that. Because if I've seen that you have posted with a sticker covering the child's face, who am I? Please. So, like, these are some boundaries that we should learn to build as individuals, and that's why I say that the things I share in this podcast sometimes is not just for children and media. Like I said, it covers psychology, policy, just like a lot of these conversations. When people don't share some things, I don't believe that it's in your place as the family friend or the friend to share those things. Simple rules in setting digital boundaries. Ask before posting, get permission, learn to know what to keep offline. Like, it's fine. I have this friend that has been married for like a hot minute. And actually, I have a lot of married friends. But, like, there's this person I know. And it's so funny because for a long time, I think either, I don't know if it's her now or her husband, they just kept posting some really funny memes. Like all these memes that do not in any way suggest that, oh, this person is married, or like, do you get? So people are posting stuff like that. They have not posted wedding picture. It's you that went for the wedding that only got videos of DJ, we want a pie. You now rush. Piam. They did not send you. They did not send. Delete that video. Delete it. Delete it. They did not send you. Learn people's digital boundaries. If you're not sure, ask questions. 2, make use of privacy settings. I can't even emphasize on this enough. There is a reason why all these apps, they even ask you questions. Should we enable this? Should we disable that? Sometimes I know that terms and conditions are actually too long to read, but there are some small ones that pop up here and there. Go through them. Find out who really views my posts. Because I know on each app, you can be able to curate your viewing audience. You can decide, okay, XYZ person will view, and this person, I mean, is giving tent of meeting or the main tent, inner courts, holy of holies. Like, there are levels to this. There's a song I wanted to sing now. Maybe you should get used to this. There are levels to this. Okay, let me be serious. There are levels to this. There are people who deserve to just see that you have graduated. Wonderful. There are people that when you're inside the relationship or when you're posting your videos going for antenatal and stuff like that, maybe a strict list of 10 friends, a private Insta story, there are people who should see that. There are people who should see the maternity pictures when you give birth. And there are people who should hear about it and this is not like with a spiritual vibe, but there's that too, and it exists. It's very real. But I think we should have mystery to us as people. One of the most interesting things, as somebody who used to overshare, one very interesting thing that comes with mystery is when there's a side of you that a lot of people don't know. And maybe somebody now gets close enough to you, or they meet you like in a different setting and they're like, so you're this person. Like, there's just this joy it gives that not all of your business is out there. And that's exactly why you should be using privacy settings. That's exactly why. And yeah, still on privacy settings, please, your location should not always be on. Like location tagging, stuff like that. Please take such things seriously. I don't think it's all your pictures you should post, and unless you're not posting in real time. But yeah. Number 3, teach and learn digital respect. Yeah, so the way we teach kids like different things about greeting elders, collecting things with a particular hand or the other, and all those, please excuse me, sorry, thank you, pardon me. We should learn to teach kids stuff about, conducting themselves online. Don't post people without permission. Think twice before you post certain things. We have examined videos, and I said videos, cases in previous episodes of, issues that have happened in schools. It was classmates who made those videos and leaked them. Even though we don't know, some of these things are allegations, but a kid will video another kid getting bullied and make posts, not just here in Nigeria, different parts of the world. So the burden falls on us to teach this to kids and to learn it ourselves. Sometimes I see some of these videos, and especially because we live in such I studied mass communication in school, and like there has never been a greater hype around sensational news than the current times we're living in. Citizenship journalism is already a whole thing. Like, we're never going back from it. But you just see like a random thing happening, and nobody's even going to offer help. Nobody is trying to call the hospital, call the police. You're just making videos and posting. Bro, somebody might be going, like, that might be somebody's lowest time, and you're just making videos to post and making side commentaries. Next thing they'll be forwarding it on WhatsApp. You see forwarded many times. It pisses me off so bad because people are just cashing in on another person's pain or vulnerable moment or a time of confusion. And let's not even get into that. The point is, learn digital respect. Like, learn to extend that hand of courtesy to people, whether you know them or not, as long as, it's online. Segment 3, the one that I feel is just going to balance out this entire Sharenting series. I know that largely Sharenting doesn't look like it has any upsides. But like I pointed out in, I think, the first or the second episode, children are just really wonderful people, and you're just overwhelmed with joy seeing this new person grow, come to life. You're hearing them say some words for the first time, and in fact, even when they say it wrongly, it's so cute, you don't want to correct them. Like when they call watermelon water lemon, or all those cute things, like the way they mismatch the words, and it's adorable, and you want to share that joy with everyone. So again, I'm not judging. I just believe that it has risks that we must consider and find a way to share responsibly. And yeah, that's exactly what we should do, because, like it or not, especially with the way the world has become, people taking jobs outside of their countries, friends. If most of the people you went to high school with, secondary school for Nigerians, or uni, or even service here, the likelihood of seeing most of them is usually very slim. And for some, you guys continue to be friends. And so it's by sharing these videos, pictures, milestones that you guys keep in touch. Now, we have some parents who are back here in Nigeria or in a different country. Kids are growing up in a different country. And that's why an Oxford 2018 study showed that grandparents who regularly got updates on their grandkids, they just felt more connected to them. You know, you might not have seen this child yet, but you know so much about them. You guys video call all the time. They're so happy. Sometimes they even have things happen in their life, and they take their phone and give their parents, let's call grandpa, let's call grandma. It's so cute. Children are such wonderful people. So yeah, there's the side to sharenting being a great tool to build emotional connection. It is also a good way to document memories. Let's not lie. Physical photos, even though the photo cameras that let you print out these instant photos is making a comeback, but to be very truthful, that era has sort of phased out. Like, I remember when I was younger, as a child growing up in Nigeria, if you go to a family's house, the first thing they offer you as their oji, I'm Igbo, so oji is like, a welcome snack, cola nuts, stuff like that. Let the real Igbo people not come and attack me. But yeah, what they used to welcome you is their family albums. You get, they'll probably bring out the parents' marriage albums. Each kid will have like an album of different phases of their lives, and it was a beautiful way to document those things. But now you would even see that some of those pictures have been ruined by water, by old homes. People have had to take pictures of, like, re-snap them now with their phones, and maybe use some different apps to clean them up, frame them, save to their Google Drives. Or so the truth is, sharenting is a way to document growth and memories. That, because right now, if you don't have the pictures and the videos, if you're hoping for your child to blow, I don't have pictures and videos. When your child blows, what will form the documentary? Do you want us to generate AI images? Exactly. So I get the parents who create like private accounts and just keep posting there for when the child grows up to hand it over to the child. And I have two-sided thoughts on that, but I'll keep them to myself. But the point is, since we're talking about the upsides of sharenting, sure, sharenting is a great way to curate great memories for your child. 3, sharenting is a good way to raise awareness. In raising awareness, especially for kids who have like disabilities, special need kids, or just some random things, about children, I must be very honest that as much as like I read, I research, and I like attend webinars and stuff on these issues, I have learned a lot from the people who share their day-to-day lives and challenges, joys and journeys on some of these subjects. Like, I mean, I have followed, there's a mom I follow on TikTok. I think she has a teenager with autism, and she has shared like a couple of things, how he got his first job, how he had been coping on the job, just a way to raise awareness. I mean, I know people who have sickle cell who share. By the way, I volunteer for a sickle cell charity, just giving that wonderful foundation a shout out on the podcast. Please check out Crescent Kids. They are doing amazing work in Nigeria, in UK. Wonderful work to bring hope to families of warriors and to encourage them to share helpful tips and etc. Please, this is not paid. I'm a volunteer there, and again, sharing children's journeys, in the right way has been part of the things that have inspired other people to. And there are even parents who have kids facing a similar thing who have been able to learn from those who shared. So I believe that that is one of the most powerful ways to use social media, to put your voice out there and say, oh, it was from a mother's post, I think on Instagram, that I found out how her sickle cell child is able to swim and not have a crisis, or so sensitive things like that, but of course shared with boundaries, with respect, shared wisely and responsibly. Some of these things really give the rest of us more insights, build compassion, build like all the right feelings towards some of these issues. And this is not the only way to share, but for a host of other things as well. There's a midwife I also follow. Bro, I follow a lot of people. I follow so many people, but there's a midwife I truly admire. I think she's based in the UK. She shares a lot about childbirth, and it's so powerful to use social media as a platform to share some of these things, just inspire people, spread hope, spread love, build supportive communities, because sometimes like people are looking for causes to donate to, and by sharing some of these things you will find donors, like you get. So I'm all for that. Please. Lastly, it is also a great way to create opportunities, age appropriate opportunities. Might be for the child, might be for the parents, but sometimes sharing actually brings good fortune. I mean, even though we have talked about people who shared and there was some sort of child labor and etc in it, but there is the side to sharenting that creates great opportunities for the kids and their parents. Next up, signs that you might be oversharing. I feel attacked because I've already used that word like 100 times, but I wrote it down as one of the things that I was going to talk about. Here are a few red flags. Wow. Speaking of red flags, there's this guy's videos that I like on TikTok. Oh my goodness, I think I've become like my parents and I talk about things they read on Facebook or all these browsers that have clickbait content. The guy carries, there are some videos you would see of people having conversations and he would carry like a red flag and run around, or carry a green flag to run around. Yeah. Anyways, here are some red flags. One, you post all your child's milestones in real time. Need I say more? It could also be not just their milestones, their struggles. You tag their real name, school details, just a lot of things, happening. There are even people who share things about their children to fight trolls online or to win parenting wars. Or I'm like, bruh, like, why do you see the need to prove something to people? It's like somebody that they were dragging on Twitter. And he started telling the lady, my wife is finer than you, blah, 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 blah. Started posting his wife's pictures. People now started insulting his wife. I'm like, oh, God, who sent you that work? Now, an innocent woman who is where she is, you have just subjected her to unnecessary trolling. And people do that with kids. Like, my child is more intelligent. You, as an adult, you cannot construct a sentence. Meanwhile, my little Nina, can you now post the. Come on, bruh. Like, from where to where? Do you understand? That's oversharing because nobody. And one of the simple rules, and I'm going to say this in my most Nigerian impression, one of the simple rules to guide you so that you don't overshare. Just ask yourself, this thing I want to share, did anybody ask me? See, let this be your litmus test to almost anything you. It's good to own it with your chest. Nobody asks you, you post. Because most times when you see all those influencer videos, I know y'all have been asking me what I use for my skin. Girl, nobody asked you, but okay, tell us. Because at the end of the day, that's the one rule that you should always just have at the back of this thing I want to share. Did anybody ask me? Even if they asked you, are they asking from a good place? From a I mean, just understand that and know that you're sharing or you're not oversharing. So Nigerian parents, adults, everybody, like I said, this podcast is not just for age. If you were once a child and now you're grown, praise the Lord. This podcast is for you. You're in the right place. So what should you take away from the entire Sharenting series? Number one, children have the right to grow up with curated and peaceful childhoods, online, offline, everywhere. They don't need to grow up and see things about themselves online and feel some type of way. I know we love them, we cherish them, but let us also learn how to protect them online. Their digital safety should matter a lot to us. And just when we do it that way, yeah, things will get better. Things will get better. So to wrap this up, Sharenting is not just a trend. I think it's something that will be here for a very long time. Very, very long time. And it's one of the ways that, you know, we can either use our storytelling to empower, to raise awareness, or we can just use it as a popularity context or to overshare, or there are people who can use it to make money. It's a lot of things. And sometimes this one needs to be said. The best thing you can post is nothing at all. Don't even post, just exist. Don't. So yeah, maybe this podcast is what to make you say, I think I should take a break, or I think I should reevaluate how I post about kids, or just yeah. I'm just hoping it brings you to a place of thoughtful reflection or an introspection. Just think deeply. Until then, just ensure that the children that you come across will always be safe online because you are there. So the way that we have a saying as Christians that my generation will not look for Jesus because I exist. Children will not feel unsafe online because you exist. So in any way that you know to protect them, in any way you know to preserve them online, please let it be your responsibility. And like I shared at different times in this episode, I will put together the safe framework and share on socials. Please follow us. Let me kneel down so you guys will take me more seriously. Please follow us on all social media platforms: Instagram, X. I still call it Twitter. I'm so sorry. I can't. I'm like the X that has not moved on. I'm still not able to call it X. Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Threads. We have an email. Send your questions, collaborations, everything you want to send in. And yeah, let's keep getting more people to listen and spreading the word. I'm so grateful. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We commence a new conversation next week. And I dare say that it's one of the conversations that I get a lot of questions from parents about. Screen time. How to manage screen time. What is screen time? How does screen time? Everything you want to know about screen time. Be there in 2 weeks' time. What did I say again? Be there in 2 weeks' time. People have asked me, should I cut off screen time cold turkey? Should I come in 2 weeks' time? And a lot of questions will be answered, a lot of knowledge shared. I'm learning, you're learning, and we're just trying to make this world a better place for the kids. And I noted this down. I wrote it down in my notes that I was going to share before I end today's podcast. In Nigeria, it's summer. Well, not summer, rainy season, but children are on holiday. Please make sure your child touches the tiles, touches grass, does something fun. Make sure the kids are around you. There are so many things happening right now. Vacation, Bible school, summer camp. It's not only summer lesson. Please, educators, don't come for me and say I'm about to collect your bread. That's not what I'm doing. Fun stuff. Like, don't just let your child watch TV at home all day or use your phone or the iPad, or take them to Millennium Park if you live in Abuja. Take them to the beach in Lagos. Even in Ebonyi State, there's a beach. Take them everywhere. Like, let your child, like, because there's a childlike curiosity that sparks so much optimism. Let your child, or let the children around you, just experience the beauty that is in this world before grown experiences just sort of reshape that and they start over calculating things. This is the holiday. I think it's for a whole month. It's a great time to give your kids necessary exposure. Until next episode, I remain your host, Christabel Enamdi, and you are listening to the Children and the Media podcast, the CAM podcast, on YouTube, the C&M podcast. Yeah, so thank you so much. So grateful. See you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.